Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Today, going to be a TVZ featuring Sari and Larva. It's a StarMuse Caster League Season 3 game sent to me by RJB. If you want to support CasterMuse, I think that's a good idea. There are several links in the description to do that. And if you want to support RJB, just subscribe to his channel at RJBTV. If you like StarCraft, you will enjoy his channel. Bottom left, we have a Blue Terran player here on Grand Line. It is Sari. And at the top right, we've got Larva. I haven't cast a Larva game in a while. I do like Larva a lot. He's a very, very fun Zerg player to watch. Very entertaining as well. And someone who's run afoul of some people who really, really like good manner in StarCraft. Let's just say that. You can look it up. You can look up stories about Larva and just laugh about it. Or maybe you become offended. People are pretty darn split on him, and that's all I'm going to say. So a TVZ here on Grand Line. Man, this is weird map week, that's for sure. Woof. All right, man. So, natural base, pretty darn, easy to take as always. This is a fairly wide opening to wall off against Zerg. We've got a minerals only. Again, easy to wall off here. Easier to wall off than the natural? Iron it, yeah. Easier to wall off than the natural, and expansions with gas at the 12 o'clock and the 6 o'clock, as well as the 3 o'clock and the 9 o'clock expansions. They are islands, and this is here, so you just can't float a command center over here, land it, and be safe from Zerg until they get a Spire, right? Right. Or maybe until they get, Ventral Sacs and Pneumatized Carapace. Anyway, desert map. There are not many of those, at least not enough for me. I do like the desert tile set. It's just, I don't know, just takes me back to the early days of StarCraft. I don't know why. Anyway, hatch first, into pool. Here from Larva. And we're gonna do a factory? We're gonna do a factory, sorry. Larva is aggressive. Maybe you're wondering if this is a pool first. Well, what are we gonna do here? Sorry, it looks like you're saving up for a factory. This little SCV is up to factory things, and yes, indeed he is. All right, man. So again, for the second time this week, opening up with a barracks factory opening against a Zerg player who went hatch first. Macro hatch in the traditional location if you want to do a macro hatch these days. And yeah, again, CasterMuse is just a super, super cool dude. Organizing professional tournaments, putting them on. And as far as I know, I'm the only person who's doing English casting of these. He does cast them in Korean, but if you don't speak Korean, if you're watching this, you probably don't. So yeah, CasterMuse StarLeague, never before seen replays, cast in English anyway. So the Drone Scout says, a barracks factory opening. Yeah, it's very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Gonna chase this SCV around, try to kill that dude. Let's see if our gas goes directly into a lair when we've got that 100 ready to go. On the other side, making a Vulture. Okay, Vulture first, here from Sari. Recognizing, okay, Ling Floods are kind of a thing. Out of Larva here, he does like that stuff. But, not so much happening. There it is. So going right into lair, going into Mutalisks. When your opponent opens this barracks stuff, opening into Mutas is kind of a good thing to do. Yeah, that drone kind of tried to come back around and get a scout off. I don't know if the drone knows this expansion is coming up or not. That's kind of an important thing to know if your opponent has a second base or is just kind of try to one base kill ya. Whoa, and really fast starport here as well. So one Vulture out, her Vulture things. Yeah, Vulture's going to try to slow ride his way on in there in his super cool blue jumpsuit. Entirely blue. Oh, 2-port. We're going 2-port Wraith. That's it. It's got to be Wraiths now. I mean, the 1-star port is pretty much an indication we're getting a 2nd starport this fast too. But it's confirmed. Hydralisk Den, I love it. He's going to have Hydras here. How did he sniff this out? I guess maybe he's like, look, Hydras are good against Vultures. If it's a mech, that's what it's going to be. It's also good against Wraiths if it's going to be 2-port Wraith. So he's just covering his bases here. Larva playing really, really smart. And yeah, Spire's already done, so if you want some Scourge to deal with the Wraiths, you can. If you want to go Mutalisks, they trade really well against Wraiths as well. And they're fast, so Spire's on the way. It's going to be a bit of time before it's ready to rock. But he's going to have the tech available to handle this at some point. It's just that we can get Wraiths out more quickly than you can get Mutas out. It's just the teching for Zerg's a little bit slower than it is for Protoss and for Terran in general. All right. So yeah, hit that like button. The way you can support me is by hitting the like button, hitting the subscribe. I'm here 6 times a week with StarCraft Brood War content, which is insane. 6 times a week, people. Whew, is that too much? Should I dial it back down to 5? Let me know. Let me know in the comments. Also, you can support me at patreon.com/Falcon Paladin for like a monthly kind of a thing. Also, clicking the join button down below here on the YouTube channel. You can join through the YouTube channel if you don't trust Patreon for ideological reasons. And if you just want to do, yeah, the YouTube thing, it starts as like $2 a month. Patreon's $1 a month. It's really fairly cheap. And if you want to support me in a one-time donation, PayPal is probably the best for that. Just at falconpaladin@gmail.com. The PayPal option for a one-time donation. So the links come in, see the 2-port Wraith, say, all right, you can't kill ground things very quickly. We're going to kill some SCVs. And yeah, you're going to kill us because the ground attack isn't nothing, but it's not good. So they kill some SCVs, they all die. It's like, yes, Wraiths, fine. Getting faster Overlord movements that can run from the Wraiths if necessary, taking a third base behind this, loving that. Yeah, Hydra's out, clustering all the Overlords around the Spire. And this should be fine. I really feel like Larva's gonna handle this just fine. Unlike me last time I faced this strategy, where I did not know 2-port Wraith was coming at all. And I was like, I shall have Zerglings and Sunkens, and I shall make some Lurkers, and all of a sudden Wraith showed up, and I was like, huh. None of this stuff can shoot up at all. Garbage. And then I died, and it was really sad. I got some spores up, but the Wraiths killed all my drones, pretty much most of them. And then the follow-up push of Marines and medics and stuff totally wrecked my face. So I remember that one. I remember that one pretty well. So that's the importance of scouting, ladies and gentlemen. If your opponent's doing something a little bit weird, scout in. Send a drone over. Like, Larva's not too good to send a drone over, right? So Wraith Ball is at 5. If you're going 2-port Wraith and you don't make at least 5 Wraiths, you're doing it wrong. He's making another one for 6, which would be pretty hot. 6 Wraiths, amazing. Does he have Cloak already? If you're going to make this race, you pretty much want to have Cloak. But you know what? Did he get Cloak? I wasn't watching the production tab closely enough. He might be spending his gas on science vessels and academies instead and things. Like medics and stuff. Comsats in case any lurkers show up. But for now, it is going to be a Muta Hydralisk Zergling, the plays of the days. Yeah, this is nice too for Larva because he doesn't have to tech into lurkers super duper fast. Ooh, we're getting Ensnare. Ah, it's a CasterMuse StarLeague Season 3 replay with Ensnare. We don't get this a whole lot in StarCraft Brood War, that is for sure. The last time we had an Ensnare game was weeks ago, potentially months ago, something like that. Anyway, boop, boop, boop. SCV says, is there a third base up here? The answer is no. You'd think maybe the third base would be up here. This is sometimes what the third base is for Zerg players, but nope, not happening. It's the bottom right spawn location, which again, there's a ramp easier to defend for Zerg, etc. We're getting a spore. Static defense, baby. Getting a spore up at the third base because the Hydras, and you don't want to spread too thin. Oh, I don't know. One spore is not good enough to stop this. But maybe it is. Oh, they do have Cloak. All right, neat. Wow, one spore was enough. The Wraiths are like, we are too flimsy to try to fight against a single spore. There's 6 of us. I really think if he dived in there, he could have taken down all of these drones. What do you, if he lost maybe 3 Wraiths? Yeah. Like maybe 4? That would have been bad. Oh, the Wraiths dodged. The Mutas are trying to catch them as they came down this way, but nope. The Wraiths dodged into the main where there's like a spore and a single Hydra. So the Hydra's dead. Spore's getting some hits. Oh, it's such a well-placed Spore, too. Look at he pulled off the gas. That's it. He did. He did pull off the gas in the main. Is that more Zerglings? There's got to be more Lings, or maybe just trying to drone up a little bit faster. He's at 37 workers to 45 SCVs. So, I mean, Sari's macroing extremely well, too. He's moving in more 8-rack stuff. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we'll get an 8th at some point. Whatever. The point of saying 8 racks is that it's a lot of racks. So, there's a push trying to sneak on over. Oh, the Irradiate is hot, though. Dude, Larva's not... He's not splitting at all on these Irradiates. That was maybe the worst. Okay, that was really bad. Yeah, here we go, here we go. Wraiths, you don't have a spore at this base, says Sorry. Eat it. Eat it. You can die. Hydras. Oh, they're getting a Wraith there. Nice, nice. Sniping these Overlords. Oh gosh, sniping to Overlords, but not quite enough. Ensnare means you can't run anymore, baby! Oh, but the Wraiths win it anyway. The ensnared, gooped up Wraiths hunting down Overlords. Their attack speed is slowed. Their movement speed is slowed. There's some Lurkers on the way, which don't do anything about these Wraiths, but we'll do something about this group of Marines and Medics that's heading down to that third base. Are we making them here? Yep, Lurkers made at the third base. Too smart. Obviously very, very smart. That was... Yeah, the Wraiths did not have a good time. But Consume's on the way. We'll have Defilers for Dark Swarm, which means the Wraiths are utterly useless, which means the Marines are going to have a bad time. There's no Fire Bats here at all. So Dark Swarm might just be the savior for Larva in this game. The Wraiths are... Oh, they find a little area. Okay, yeah, there was one drone on gas. It's dead now. And here comes some Zerglings ahead. Irradiating. Oh my gosh, there's enough Irradiate to kill these two Lurks. Oh, that's bad. Nidus Canal. Okay, there is a Nidus Canal. I was going to say, Nidus Canal is required at this stage. Oh, the Mutas cleaned out the race. They kind of stuck themselves in a corner, didn't give themselves an out. So the Mutas took them down. Oh, man, this is a beautiful push from Sari, though. He's up 101 to 61 supply. Holy crap, Sari's macro. Oh, my gosh. Drones, evacuate. Get inside the Nidus. Why are you not getting inside the Nidus? What's over here for you? Oh, they focus down the Spore so that... Oh, the anti-air's not really here. The Irradiates on the Mutas are so good. Larva, why are you playing like this? Get inside. Oh, Consume and Dark Swarm. Save the hatch. Get in there, Lings. No, they don't save the hatch. The third base goes down. This is really scary stuff from Sari. However, as we've seen time and time again, the game changer here can be Dark Swarm. Out of Larva. Can he make some good connections here? Can he set up? Can he just zone out this Marine Medic army? No Fire Bats at all. No siege tanks being produced either. This is just 8 racks for 8 racks' sake. And by that, I mean the 7 racks. Third base is coming up. Minerals only, but he's making a lot of Marines, so it makes sense. Lurker inside the Dark Swarm. Going to kind of keep this away for now until Irradiate's available. Irradiate is available on the Science Vessel. Let's go. He's like, oh, we can kill... Oh, he kills the Defiler instead of the Lurkers, which is pretty smart. I could support that. This Defiler is just not even going to try to consume cast anything. Just dies. Just dies. Trying to replant this third base, but another Defiler pops out, gets a Dark Swarm up, once again forces these back, and the Scourge connections are good. They're okay. 2 of the... Oh! 3 Science Vessels go down. That's massive. I thought he was just going to get 2. Top left base from Sari coming in. He's defending that pretty effectively here, too. And I think Sari's going to win this game. He's up 132 to 59 supply. He's denied the third base of the Zerg. He's taken a third base of his own. He's taking a 4th base of his own, and I gotta say, I did not expect a Sari victory here today against Larva. I thought Larva for sure was just gonna kind of Zerg swarm him like he does in most of the Larva games that I've seen and that I've cast over the years. Plague's coming in. Again, Plague Dark Swarm especially against this Marine Medic composition. There's a Fire Bat in this army, actually. Is gonna be amazing. Plague on a big clump of bio. It drains all the energy off the medics. It brings the already low HP Marines down to even less HP. Beautiful. Irradiate, Dark Swarm, and maybe another Consume would be hot. Maybe don't try to kill stuff. Okay, well, got another Dark Swarm up anyway. That's pretty cool. SCV transfer up this left side, and my gosh, there's not a 4th base here from Larva at all. I think Sari's going to win this thing. I'm not... We're only at 13 minutes. This game is not over, but my goodness. The macro's crazy. +2 attack, +1 armor for the infantry. Only +1 armor for these Lurks. He's trying to get a Plague up. And he does. Okay, that was a really good Plague, actually. That somehow caught everybody. I thought there was a split there from Sari, and there was, but it wasn't good enough. That's frustrating. Oh, Sari's getting Restoration. Oh, he's getting Restoration. He might start making some battle cruisers here. Oh, there's that physics lab. Oh, he's thinking about it. This is... kind of the next stage of this strategy. A lot of the times against Zergs, I mean, just a couple BCs. And there we go. BC production has begun. So if the BCs get plagued, the Restoration can save them from the plague. That's insane. Ling, do you have good upgrades? No. Larva has not been upgrading well today. He just jumps. Okay, everyone dies there. Get out of the Dark Swarm, dummies. And they do. God, just sitting up here, Irradiate after Irradiate after Irradiate on these Defilers. He tries to get a good Plague off, but only catches 4 or 5 Marines there, which isn't really... I mean, it's not ideal. I guess it's better than nothing. These Hiders don't have speed. Okay, so these all die, but that is whatever. That is 100% whatever. Good Plague down there, too. Defiler irradiated, pulls back into the Dark Swarm, but he's dead for sure. Dude, and Sari's taking another base. I mean, this is... Dude, Larva's getting outplayed here. He needs a 4th base. He needs like a 5th base fast. It's just not working. It's 181 supply for Sari right now. He has so much supply. Sari could throw this by wandering like 27 Marines into lurkers. That'd be amazing. Or letting this happen. Okay, all right. Maybe Larva can make like 10 different trades that are this and get back into this game while expanding, because that'd be pretty hot. Dark Swarm? Are you not dark? What the? He was worried about this. He was worried about this is what he was doing. Defensive Matrix Firebat in the mix. He's dead. Now, Science Vessels do get taken down here, but just storming the castle is our guy Sari right now. Oh my goodness. Okay, so Zerg player dead, and that's it. Larva taps out. Here at 16 minutes, an absolutely kind of commanding win for Sari here. And the Terran fans are greatly pleased at this win. Something of an upset win. I imagine a bunch of Terrans didn't even bother clicking on this because they're like, Larva's going to beat Sari. Why am I watching my favorite Terran gets killed? Well, let this be a lesson to you, people who didn't watch. You should have watched. That was awesome. That was amazing stuff from Sari. The race did some work. They weren't incredible, but they did assist with the 3rd base going down. They killed drones. They maybe prevented gas gathering from happening, which is so gosh darn important in this matchup especially. And yeah, killed the 3rd base, got a 3rd base of his own, got a 4th base and a 5th base of his own. Zerg just put no pressure on it all. He couldn't. He was too busy dealing with defense stuff. The transition from the 2-port Wraith into the Marines and the medics really sounds like the story that I told, wasn't it? It's a pretty standard transition, I would say. Just hard for Zerg to deal with, honestly. Yeah, so many Marines were produced. That +2/+1 upgrading really helpful there. The fact that Larva didn't have attack upgrades for the lurkers or the lings was really concerning. He kind of rushed into defilers, and I mean, just really patient stuff from Sari. Dark Swarm pops up, get out of it. Wait for it to finish. Keep making science vessels, irradiating those defilers. Just pieces of the equation. Pieces of the recipe. Steps in the recipe. Ingredients in the recipe to make the cake. He did it. He did everything that he needed to do here. And it just, again, simplistic, but the player who spends the most time defending in a game usually loses. And I mean, there's just no pressure at all on Sari today. I don't think the Mutas didn't even harass because they were too busy dealing with the Wraiths back home. That's crazy. That is so insane. Yeah, Larva, I haven't seen him look this bad maybe ever in a TVZ. Great job, man. I mean, Sari played a magnificent game. Just a truly magnificent, très magnifique le jeu. Well done by him. I can't say enough nice things here about Sari. I mean, he was working on +2 attack and +3 attack and +2 armor. Would have been nice. But yeah, the battle cruisers would have been really, really hard for Larva to deal with too. So if this doesn't win, which it did, but he didn't know, if this doesn't win, then battle cruisers show up and it's like, how many Scourge do you have? Right? And the answer is not all that many. And if you Plague, Restoration was researched anyway. So one of these medics just throws it down on the battle cruiser, and bam, all of that spell cost that was cast was lost. Truly amazing. I mean, that was one of the better TVZs, just well executed plans, executed well in a weird matchup that I've ever seen. So 16 minutes there, not a crazy long game today, but we got Ensnare. I mean, you got Restoration. Was it used? No, but that's okay. 93,000 resources for Sari, only 70,000 from Larva. Both produced similar numbers of units here, but the kill-death ratio is way ahead. That is a greater than a 2-to-1 kill-death ratio for Sari, and he produced nearly as many units as Larva did. That's insane. And look at that. 7-0 on the building's raised count is really, really big there too. And outspending a Zerg player by 5,000 resources, 5,200 resources overall in 16 minutes is crazy. But that's what happens if the Zerg loses his 3rd and never gets a 4th. He never even, I don't think, tried to get a 4th, which is a problem. It is a problem and a half. So beautifully, just such good Terran play today from Sari. I gotta cast more Sari, I think, is the lesson here today. Man alive. Absolutely amazing. Really, 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 really good ZVT. All right, fine. So that's going to be it for me today. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw, what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.